tip for building in No Man's Sky. Like literally, the conversion rate that I have discovered is ridiculous. I found it out with the help of a friend. First he discovered part of it, and then I started making some tweaks, and it just made the conversion rate OP. So this tip is for you guys who want to make a base with wood or concrete, because we are going to make a crap ton of carbon. But the best part about this is you don't need to leave your base to get this carbon. The only thing you're going to need is 2 different items, at least 2 medium refineries, or a medium and a large, doesn't matter, either or. I have a medium and a large just because, you know, gotta have one of both. And then you're gonna want a lot of oxygen harvesters. So right now I'm working on building my hotel for my planet. And I've been able to do this in a short amount of time due to this little tip and hack that we've been able to come up with. So I have a lot of oxygen harvesters just because I'm building a ginormous base. But you guys don't need this many. 4 is definitely good. But you're going to want 4 oxygen harvesters. You know, if you can get more, definitely get more. And then at least 2 medium refineries. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take some oxygen out of our oxygen harvester. And so the cool thing about oxygen when you put it into the refiner is it actually turns into carbon at a 1.1 ratio. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to turn it into carbon. And then so now that we're cooking our carbon, something I figured out is we were actually turning the carbon into condensed carbon and using condensed carbon to power the oxygen harvesters, because it's cheaper to power it with condensed carbon rather than or base carbon. But I recently figured out a way to make condensed carbon on a very, very effective scale. So what you want to do is you want to add oxygen and carbon together. So normally you would get, if you added 2 stacks of oxygen and turned it into carbon, you would get 2 stacks of carbon, a total of 500 carbon. If you refine those into condensed carbon, you get a total of 250 condensed carbon, and that's it. Just 250 condensed carbon out of 2 stacks of oxygen. Now, if you take a stack of carbon and a stack of oxygen, you actually get a 2-to-5 ratio to condensed carbon. So a stack of carbon and a stack of oxygen will turn into 625 condensed carbon, guys. So now I'm getting all the fuel I need to run my oxygen harvesters. And so now, and once I've gotten all the fuel I need to run my oxygen harvesters, I just keep fueling up my oxygen harvesters and get carbon, turn the oxygen into carbon. And then every time I need to fuel my oxygen harvesters, instead of doing it the conventional way with carbon or converting carbon into condensed carbon, I do it this way: add carbon and oxygen together, and you get condensed carbon at an extremely high ratio, which allows you to power a mass amount of oxygen harvesters all at once. I have, just from a very short amount of time, I have just been able to farm a ridiculous amount of oxygen and turn it into carbon. It's great, you guys. It is one of the best little tips I have for you guys when it comes to building a base in No Man's Sky, when you want to build a giant base and not have to worry about going out and gathering resources. It's amazing. I'd love to see what you guys have made out there. Go ahead and hit the follow button, share and like, and don't forget to watch future videos for more building tips in No Man's Sky. See you guys out there in that galaxy. Have a good one.